$1 million man always gets his way. I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sorry says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy merch.
And a child shall lead. I told you we don't have to do that anymore.
Mute it.
She absolutely did. But is she gonna say she did? No. Okay, this is for the big homie. Who's this for?
Metlcat.
Metlcat. Shout out to the homie Metlcat. Metlcat selected this song, and the name of the band is that Glory Hammer or Eternal Champion?
Eternal Champion. I am the hammer.
I am the hammer. Right.
Yes.
We just did Glory Hammer. What am I talking about?
Right. We're not doing it twice.
All right, ladies and gents.
Not a true reaction.
Yeah, Glory Hammer.
All right.
No, it's not Glory Hammer.
It's Eternal Champion.
It's Eternal Champion. I don't know why I keep saying
Focus,
I don't know why I keep saying Glory Hammer. Oh, because the name of the song is I Am the Hammer? Is that situation?
I suppose.
All right, back to our regular. You got lyrics?
I have.
I got the lyrics. All right, let's go. Sounds Norwegian. love that vocal style. That like echoey,
Flip it to the next, please.
that echoey cavernous vocal style. I love that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like old school Metallica.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
vocals, it's like it had that
Yeah.
echo. It sounds kind of
Far
like
away and
cavernous, like he's in a cave, you know.
yeah. I'm
And that
sorry.
was 2017.
Every time he said,
Holy
"I am
moly.
not to be crossed," it was such a funny line to me. Like,
Why? Because it sounds like something Dory would
yes,
say.
it was exactly.
It sounds exactly like Dory.
He'll say stuff like, "I will have." He doesn't anymore, but he used to say, "I will have my vengeance."
Yeah.
And he would be like dead ass serious when he was saying it. It was so funny. Like,
But he would
what?
say it with the drama, like that you would see on one of those shows. I will have my vengeance.
Yeah. It's like.
It's funny as hell, bro. He's corny. He's corny.
It's so funny.
He's definitely corny. Yeah.
You know, people have been calling him Harry Potter.
Oh, he just got his glasses on.
Yeah, they would call him Harry Potter. One kid was like, 4 eyes. He was like, really? Never heard that before. It's just like, what in the world? 4 eyes.
Yeah, he's starting to figure it out.
They do look like Harry Potter glasses, though. Born is the hammer, one of 3, to strike the door. What is this? Ferrex free?
Yeah.
Not
To
ill
strike the
Natar?
door and Ferrex free. Not till Natar. Not Albrun's spire can stand against the armor of Ire. So I think this is like one of these.
I'm gonna get somebody out of there.
It's one of these, you know, in the fantasy world, there's like, you gotta get these rings, or you gotta get this, you gotta get that. And so,
Yeah.
like, there's 3 hammers that are strike at the door, can destroy the door, and free Ferric, I'm supposing. Not till Natar, not Albrun's spire can stand against the armor of the Ire. So it looks like this guy's one of the 3 that actually, it's not 3 hammers. Born is the hammer, one of the 3. So this guy is the hammer, and there's 2 other people. I don't know, like he's got 2 other brothers and sisters or whatever. Because the next song is the armor of Ire, and then the third song is the last king of what was that, Pictum? So maybe the first 3 songs are about the 3. Who knows?
Could be.
Maybe that's what it's about. Tyrant! Suffer now from the crime in the age befall. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, continue. So it looks like he's one of 3. He's got the hammer.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
From the west, I heard the riders of Tarsal have gone into the north. They joined Hakelin in war. This is what happens whenever I read any of these stories to the kids. They're always like,
Hyklan. They joined Hyklan, right? They had a little map there, just like, you know, like Tolkien like had this entire topography, and he had maps, and he had like a language, like he had different languages and all that. Like he
went all out.
He went all out into it. And I feel like Tolkien is the basis for a lot of the fantasy stuff, World of Warcraft and all that. Like I feel like it was him. But go ahead, continue.
He says, they are battle starved, and I promise them feast upon 2 nations' blood. That's a pretty crazy line, right?
Yeah.
Then he says, for I am not to be crossed. I command the guards of Lorne. And I actually, do you know anything about that? Guards of Lorne?
The Guards of Lorne.
I know we don't look stuff up, but that is curious to me.
I'm looking at this guy right now. The name, I don't know what his role is in the band.
Yeah.
But it's they did an interview with the band, and apparently one of the guys wrote a book.
No way.
Or a book series, and I feel like this is Jason Tarpey, who is a singer, and he's talking about a record. It's not this track though, but they're saying, he says here on the song Ravening Iron, the lyrics are based on the end of my new book called The God Blade. So he's doing this interview is about another record. It's not about this record. But I think the point still stands, basically, that he's writing a series of books, and then that's what's getting converted into the metal.
Okay. Well,
which is unbelievable to me.
Look, I went to their fan page, but apparently it's a private group, and you cannot see anything that they post unless you're part of it. So we're not in. We're not part of the know.
We're not part of the secret society.
Yeah, there's only 107 members.
Wow.
It's a pretty tight-knit
Yeah,
group.
these guys aren't playing around.
I guess not.
I'm assuming you would have had to have read the book and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
So, okay. So
So there's a demon priest of Ilmatar in the South Kainara forms her ranks 8,000 strong to meet the demon priest. I've warned them once I am the hammer. They're like glowing iron.
If you look, here's Jason Tarpey again, and look what he's holding. Look what he's holding. He's holding a hammer. I don't think you can see it. But that's him holding a hammer. Okay, so I think what happened is he's writing a book, and it's about these characters, and so this is another iteration of it.
And it's on their way to this battle.
Yep, in the South Kainara. I love the term Kainara, the phrase Kainara, by the way. Her ranks 8,000 strong to meet the demon priest of...
That would be a pretty girl's name.
Kainara?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I've warned them once, I am the hammer. They are like glowing iron. No sorcery can force the pyre forge. I am not to be crossed. I command the guards of Lore. Why are you laughing about that?
It's such a funny line. Like, the reason I think it's so funny is because if you really are not to be crossed, you have no need to say so. Like, nobody, like, Nero wasn't going around saying, don't cross me, I should not be crossed. You know what I mean? Like,
well,
it reminds me of me. What do you mean?
Nero was a bad example. He was very insecure.
He said that out there all the time?
Yeah, he was very insecure.
He did? Tell me what he said.
Huh?
Tell me what he said.
I'll be worshipped as a god. You'll burn incense at the mention of my name. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, but that's not saying, that to me is different than saying, like, I am not to be crossed.
I just think he's a bad example. He's a very insecure leader. He's like Trump a little bit. Like, Trump always had to remind you, like, hey, I'm the president.
Yeah, but I feel like saying, look, like,
Obama didn't walk around that way.
You're going to burn incense. Yeah, I don't know. Saying I'm not to be crossed, it just reminds me of, like, some like, conversations with the kids.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know, man. Like, sometimes it's important to say that to people because
if you don't care and you actually want to destroy people, then why say it?
That's my point. If you don't want to destroy people, you're going to say that.
Right.
You're going to be like, please don't cross me, man.
Right.
Because, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
So, I mean... There's a funny way of saying it.
This is all like...
I know.
Is it okay?
Don't worry about it. There's a funny way of saying it and a serious way of saying it, is what I'm saying. Like, when Dorian says it, it's funny, but there's other people. It's like, you know, there is a very famous, I don't want to say speech or discussion that Matt has had.
Okay.
With, we're working with... I'm pretty sure it was the Iraq. We're trying to set up a military for Iraq. Mm-hmm. And Mattis said, it's a very famous quote. He basically said, we're here to work with you guys. We're gonna do our best to support you. The United States Marine is the most faithful friend you'll ever have. But then he said, but if you cross us, I'll kill all of you. He says, I'm saying this with tears in my eyes, but if you cross us, we'll kill all of you. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's pretty much what, you know what I'm saying? Like, Mattis, that's pretty much the idea. Like, don't cross me, because I'll kill you.
I hear what you're saying with that.
But you've only seen the Dorian type example.
Yeah.
I've seen examples where dudes were saying that and they were dead ass serious and it was not a laughing matter.
Yeah.
Like, everybody in the room was like, holy shit, this guy's like not playing around. Like, he will literally body everybody in this room. So it just depends. Mm-hmm. It depends. But, you know, sometimes I get jealous of your, sometimes of just your upbringing and your lack of, you know, like.
Oh my gosh, my lack of trauma.
Well, yeah. Yeah, because the more and more I think, I'm like, man, you know, it's all, your life's been pretty much fun and games, pretty much.
It should be more of that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I feel like, you know, you had some making up to do, but, you know.
I think, I mean.
What?
Yeah, I guess it was, you could say so. I mean, as long as you did what was right, you were in a good spot.
Yeah.
Get up, get your chores done, and go play the rest of the day.
Yeah, I mean, good night.
Pool, whatever. Yeah. I mean.
You mean what?
sometimes that doesn't necessarily prepare you for all of the things that could happen in the future.
Okay, so here's the line, because I had to find a line. I come in peace. I didn't bring artillery, but I'm pleading with you with tears in my eyes. If you fuck with me, I'll kill you all. Mattis said this to a group of Iraqi military leaders in 2003.
I mean, I actually wish I could have seen his face when he said that.
Yeah, that's what you say. But like
from a safe distance.
So like what I'm saying is like there are people that say that shit, and when they say it, like it's not a game.
Yeah.
And he really, Mattis is a good natured guy. He's also a mass murderer. I mean he's killed there's a lot of really very dead people because of Mattis. Like he's a you know, some people just born for warfare. Like he's not a big guy, but he's just born. He's a born warrior, and some of those guys, it's a weird thing. Like some of them, they love it. You could tell they love war. They love to fight, but at the same time, they feel bad about killing. So then they work out this heuristic where they're like, look, I did everything possible to not depress the kill switch. But now, look, I begged, I pleaded with them. They wouldn't listen. So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it resolves.
Oh, I see.
It resolves the cognitive dissonance because you're saying this.
Well, I told them.
You forced me.
Right.
Somebody like this, like you forced it on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you know. So I think that's what's going on.
A lot of psychopaths do that.
No.
Some people do. Oh, yes.
No, psychopaths,
oh, yes.
they don't even have the need. They don't even have the need for that.
I say psychopaths in the sense of like, you know, like bad spouses, they can do that. They want to do something bad, and so they just wait for you to like skip a little bit so that way they can be like, well, you pushed me to do this. Not you, Vinny. What? Not you. Me?
There are people who are like,
you forced me.
Blink, sorry, blink if you're okay. Or if you're being held against your will.
Nobody would think you were the one in real demise.
What are you talking about? Are you just making stuff up right now? You're traveling. All right. So this guy's a warrior, and he's like, hey man, don't cross it. You cross it, I'm gonna kill you. I command the guards of lore, and I'm the hammer. What were you thinking? Were you allowed to watch Lord of the Rings?
No, I wasn't allowed to watch Lord. There was magic in it.
Yeah.
That was like deceptive.
But you were able to read C.S. Lewis, though.
No, I wasn't.
I'm pretty sure I remember you and Churchy got into an argument on the little track because you guys were doing some walk thing for some cancer thing.
Yeah.
And you were saying that Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe was different from Lord of the Rings.
No.
Or, no, I think what was happening is you were saying, because Churchy was against Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And you were saying, well, what's the difference between Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter?
You want to know the funny thing?
There really is
The funny thing is, I hadn't seen either one of them. I was only arguing off the arguments that were given to me by my leaders.
Well, you did a good job, because I don't think he answered the question very well. Because there's no real material difference between the two. Other than, you know...
I don't think the violence is quite so much.
Tolkien was a Christian. He's a Catholic.
Yeah,
so.
I mean.
So that's pretty much it. But what do you mean? What do you mean violence?
Was there a lot of violence in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
Oh, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. No, there was. I mean, you know, Aslan gets killed.
I think at that point
he's a Christ figure.
Yeah.
So, you know,
anyway,
he gets killed. But, yeah. Yeah,
I wasn't allowed to. Yeah. Parts of that at all.
Yeah, I was always the one who was like, well, what's wrong with Harry Potter? But you remember like when Harry Potter hit all these evangelical, I mean, I cannot tell you how many shows I listened to about the dangers of Harry Potter.
Although Harry Potter was
how it's going to lead your kids to hell and all this. It's like, wow.
Like when that part came where like all of a sudden like the teacher or something like gets a word from like some other place, she's like, whoa, it was like really scary to me. I was like,
Yeah, but there's so much like there's self-sacrifice, there's honor, there's virtue, there's clearly defined lines of who the good guy is and who the bad guy is.
Yeah, I had some massive questions when that series ended.
Those are all like Christian themes, but forget it, man.
Yeah.
Forget it.
Nope.
It can't.
It's
Nope.
out. It's out.
Nope. You're out. Sorry.
Oh well. I mean, you can't blame the upbringing. You know what I mean? Like my parents had their points of view. You know what's really interesting when I sit back and I think about it, and I think what type of parent my mother would have been and what type of parent my father would have been, but they found them two together. They found themselves together, and then the parenting that they did together is kind of funny when I look at it.
That's really interesting. You think they would have been different kinds of parents if they wouldn't have met each other?
Oh, absolutely. I think
really?
Please. All day long.
You think your mom would have been a lot more liberal?
Yeah.
But wasn't she like a hardcore Catholic?
She was, but I still think that because, well, you see it. Well, I'm learning it. Maybe you knew it before. I get the more you can't like nitpick everything because you're all just trying to make it through the day. And some things are just not as big of a deal. So the other night, this was a completely new feeling to me. The house was a wreck. And I looked at all the stuff on the floor. But before I noticed the stuff on the floor, I was watching the kids. In fact, I was looking at Johan and I was just happily thinking, oh, he's my kid, you know? And I was thinking about all the kids. Johan's like, why are you looking at me? I said, well, I'm just thinking about how happy I am that you're here with me right now. And then I was like, I'm very happy I have all these kids around me. And then after that, shortly after that, I noticed how much of a wreck the house was. But like, it just, environments, when you have, my mom grew up in a family with 7 kids. There was a lot going on. So I think that it's hard to be strict in an environment when you have that many kids to watch. You know what I'm saying? You can't micromanage everything. It becomes impossible. So you have to just say, okay, like these are the guidelines, you know, but when you have like 2 kids, you can be more rigid with that.
Especially if they're girls.
Yeah. And they're mostly compliant. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Good song.
We were the oldest. Me and my sister were the oldest. So we basically micromanaged my brother with those same guidelines. He had to follow them rules. We needed to boss somebody around.
Explains a lot. Well,
it's true, huh? Well, somebody's got to keep the boys in line.
I guess so.
Anyway, this one's to be honest with you, I couldn't take it seriously because he said I'm not to be crossed.
You were ridiculous.
I couldn't take it seriously. For the sound, it was like a good 8.6.
The life,
but that put it down to an 8.2.
Yeah, because Sori's lived a life. She's never been in war, so she doesn't understand how these phrases work.
Well, this is the thing, because there's somebody that I'm not saying to that person, don't cross me. But like, if they cross a certain line,
you're just waiting for them to do that so you can unload. I know that about you. I know that about you.
So I'm not going to say, don't cross me, don't cross me.
You're just waiting. You're just waiting to ventilate all your issues onto this poor person.
They're not a poor person. According to you, they would be. I know. You have your sympathetic heart toward them, bleeding heart toward them.
I'm going to shoot a video.
About what? About what?
I just got a text from homegirl. But anyway.
Anyway, so what do you give the song?
I really like the song, and I'm actually very, very intrigued about the rest of the story and how it turns out. It's mind-boggling to me how these people can cross-platform like that.
Oh.
Because like we've been working on a song for literally a year. Mm-hmm. One song.
That's my
And
fault.
I've got a book idea in my head.
Yeah.
And like there's just so many things that these guys have to do. Like where does he I'm assuming from city to city when they're touring, but it's just mind-boggling. And I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's a good book. But holy moly. All right, I give this song a solid 8.8. What'd you give it?
I gave it an 8.2.
There you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.
Who was the song for? Did we announce that?
Was
it Metlcat?
Yeah, it was Metlcat.
Because I can't find it on the list here.
Shout out to the homie Metlcat.
Yeah, it was.